Hey guys, we're here with Gregory Green, and he has a ministry called Fork, Spoon, and Plate, and he helps feed the hungry in West Rome area. So we're going to let him tell you a little bit about his ministry and how you can help.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Gregory? I'm Wesley
I'm all right.
with Rome, Georgia. Can you tell us briefly what Fork, Spoon, and Plate does in the community?
All right. Fork, spoon, and plate. We feed the homeless and the less fortunate. Um, we clothe, uh, shoes, blankets, um, any necessities that are needed for them. Just for their outdoor living. We provide hand warmers, gloves, flashlights, tents, yeah, you name it. Anything that they request, we try to provide for them, as well as a hot meal. That's the main thing. Fork, spoon, and plate is make sure they do get fed,
Yeah.
and it's a hot meal.
Good.
And,
One a day, or do you
yes,
serve three?
I serve just on Wednesdays.
Okay.
I would love to, do more than one night, but for now it's Wednesdays. Like I said, it's a hot meal. When I first started, it was just me. But through the years, I have some terrific people that helps me. I call them my teamsters, and I have those that everybody kind of brings something
Yeah.
to the table, and literally we have tables where we have, I have 3 people now that have a table set up that does to-go bags. So my plate is the hot meal. My table, set up is the hot meal for that night, and then I have 3 tables that are set up by Steve, John, and Miss Deborah. And like I said, they do to-go bags. So when they walk away from us that night, they have enough food to last at least 2 days, 2 or 3
Okay.
days.
Well, cool. Tell us a bit about yourself and your background.
I'm from Miami.
From Miami.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm from Miami. How I got started, because everybody asks me, what got you into doing this? I grew up in church, and the church that I grew up in, they started serving food, and they would go to what we call the food bank, and they would get food, and then they would cook. The ladies in the church would cook in the kitchen, church kitchen, and then the men in the church would drive the church bus downtown Miami and feed the homeless. Well, us young boys, we was teenagers at the time, got called because some of the men wasn't able to come out. So us teenagers, boys, was called out to come and help. So we loaded up the bus, and then they took it out. Well, we got called again. This time there were no elder men at the church, so we had to load the bus up and then drive the food out. So when we done that, that was my first time experiencing, like up front dealing with somebody that's homeless.
Yeah.
I seen it all the time, but never had no contact. Never had to deal with them. Just like everybody else, just pass by and do your thing.
Yeah.
But that night, I had to, interact with them. And like most people, we judge, and I did that. And I seen somebody that was, looked bad, smelled bad.
Mm-hmm.
They had a right mind, you know. So automatically, like, you just had, you know, like most people, you don't want to fool with it. But when I gave that plate and I gave the blankets away, it touched me because you had, you know, somebody that could have been old enough to be my father, old enough to be my granddaddy, out there telling me thank you, sir. And you know, that touched me. And ever since then, I've seen it from a different perspective. So that feeling of appreciation that I seen from them, you know, because they were, you know, they didn't have nothing. So for us young boys to come up there and hand them a plate, you know, hand them a blanket, and you know, they telling you thank you, and you know, and just giving us good word, you know.
Yeah.
You know, y'all boys, you know, y'all doing a good thing. You know, stay out of trouble, and you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I always was almost. It was almost like a junkie with me. I wanted that feeling again.
Yeah.
I love how I felt by helping someone. So that's how that got started with me. And then when I moved up here to Rome,
So I guess in the late 80s, early 90s?
96, 97.
96, 97?
Yeah, around that time.
Yeah. Can you share how you got involved with Fork, Spoon, and Plate and how special the ministry is to you? So you were in Rome.
Yeah. Like I said, I always had that passion to want to help the homeless, and I had started seeing them, you know, out and about, but I didn't know anything about I didn't know that there was anything else going on around Rome as far as helping people. You know, I didn't hear nobody talking about community kitchen at the time. And I didn't hear nobody talking about anything. So I didn't know if there was people like helping these folks. So, you know, I just started getting this burning feeling like I need to do something. I want to do something. I need to do something. And I had talked about it a few times with coworkers and whatnot. And I'm gonna tell you, Fork, Spoon, and Plate, before I go on, is God led.
Oh.
It's God led. So this one day I was working on my car, so I had to go to Harbor Freight to go get my tools, go buy some tools. And as I was driving to Harbor Freight, I drive. Y'all know what Harbor Freight is?
Mm-hmm.
I drive in the back.
Yeah.
To go around. And when you drive that way, you're right there where the train tracks is at, in those little woods. Well, that's where the homeless people are at.
Yeah.
So there's one day I'm driving there, and there was this lady holding her son. And as I got up to her, I could feel, you know, I could hear God like, stop. And I'm not a talkative person. I'm not the one that's gonna come out and just start talking. You know, I'm in the back, just quiet. That's me. So I didn't feel right, and I didn't want to. You know, be honest. I didn't want to talk to her. You know, but I felt him pushing. I heard him telling me, talking to me. So as I'm in Harbor Freight, buying my tools, you know, I'm going back and forth with God. I'm to my, like, literally going back and forth with God. talking, and he's telling me, I told you to stop. I'm like, I don't talk. You know that.
Yeah.
And
Kind of like Moses.
yeah, so
Yeah.
he kept on. So I was like, okay, we go back. If we make eye contact, I'll stop. And I'm telling God this. So as I purchased my tools, I had them told myself not to go back that back road.
Yeah.
I was gonna go, on the main road and go back, the long way.
Yeah.
And I got in that car. I'm telling you, I had intentions to go on the main road and not go back. And I don't know how, but I ended up on the back. For real.
Yeah.
For real. And when I realized what I was doing, I was coming up on her.
Yeah.
I said, oh shit. Like, oh, all right,
Yeah.
all right. So okay. But I said, God, we make eye contact. Now that I'm coming back that way, she got her back towards me.
Yeah.
So ain't no way in the world we're gonna make eye contact, right? This is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Because I said, okay, God, I said we make eye contact. So I'm driving, and I get up on her, and as soon as I get up on her, she turns around.
Oh wow.
And when I say we made eye contact, it was eye contact.
Yeah. It wasn't just. A
It
glance.
wasn't. Yeah, it just wasn't. She seen my car and didn't look up, or I, seen the trees, or what I'm saying, the sign.
Yeah.
No, it was straight eye contact.
Wow.
So when that happened, I stopped. So we began to talk, and I asked her about help. Do they get help from anyone, or is there any churches coming out? Is there any centers, anything? Like,
Mhm.
can you do you have help? So she got to talking and telling me it's people that'll come from time to time. They might bring something, and then she said churches might do something like on the Easter, Thanksgiving, Christmas. They might do something then. I said, okay. So just that one time, just that? She was like, yes. And then I said, what about the people you was talking about? She said, oh, they might bring hot dogs, some sandwiches, chips. I said, okay. I said, well, no. And she said, what? I said, well, I want to start cooking for y'all. And she said, okay. What you gonna? And she was like, kind of like sarcastic with it, like, and what you gonna cook? And I said, I want to do hot meals. And I said, like a meat, 3 vegetables, some bread or something. And she said, oh, that'd be nice. That'd be a blessing. We don't have that, that luxury of eating hot food. She said, yes, that would be great.
Yeah.
So I said, okay. And this was on a Tuesday. So I had told her, I said, well, let everybody know I'm going to come back tomorrow. So, yeah, just let everybody know.
Mhm.
So, I go to my freezer. Remind y'all, this is 2020.
Yeah.
This is during the pandemic.
Oh yeah.
The beginning of the pandemic, when you couldn't walk into Walmart just anytime you want to. You had to be in line. You had a limit of what you can take. There was hardly nothing on the shelves,
Yeah.
This is that time, and I'm a good person. Like, everybody tells me that, like, what you do is a blessing. And I tell folks sometimes, like, yeah, I'm a good person and I do things, but I'm gonna take care of family first, my family, before I take somebody else.
Yeah.
Like, you got people that will give the shirt off their back, and I know some people that's that way, and they are like good people.
Oh yeah.
I'm not that take my shirt off and give it to you.
Yeah.
Now, if I have an extra shirt,
You can have
you
it.
can have it.
Yeah.
But I got to be good too, and that's how I was taught to make sure my family was okay.
Yeah.
So for me to do what I'm doing, for me to start at the time that I start, I'm telling y'all, it's God led.
Oh yeah, sure.
God led, because I fought with that, but I fought against that. But I ended up doing what I said I was gonna do, and I was taking food out my refrigerator, my deep freezer for these people. So yeah, so that first meal, I did fried chicken, green beans, and mashed potatoes.
Hmm.
That was the first meal I ever cooked for them. So
You've been going-
and that's how that started up, and I've been going on ever since then. And that's, I guess, my passion, where God started, and what was that question you had said?
How you got involved and how special this ministry is to you.
So that's how it got started, and me, how I explained how it makes me feel.
Yeah.
That's the special. Like when I give them something, and
Just see the gratitude.
the appreciation. I could tell y'all many stories. Just small things I have done for people, and they just all out, just crying, tears, and and with joy. Just somebody, just a stranger doing something for them.
Yeah.
You know.
Tell us about the ministry's area of expertise and what makes it stand out.
Me. Some people call me the top chef. But yeah,
There's not much in West Rome, is there? Anyway, because most of the homeless ministries are in more East Rome.
and yes, that's what make us unique, I guess. That part too.
Because they can't. I mean, it's 3 or 4 miles for them to travel, and they don't have a car to get around.
Yeah, we're the only people, I guess, group of people, because it's, I ain't gonna take it away from everybody, because there are people that stop by.
Oh yeah.
Just nice people that stop by. But as far as like a group that really does, a number of things, we Forks Spoon and Plate, we're the only place
You're based in West Rome.
in West
Yeah,
Rome.
yeah.
And like you said, everybody else is in Northeast Rome.
Yeah.
So yeah, the West Rome people, they don't get any service. So I'm the
and they
service.
could travel, but they can't travel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess what we stand out, how we stand out, and what's unique about us is the hot meal, and we do it at night. Everybody else they do their feeding, before 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
So after 12 o'clock, there's nothing else out.
Hmm.
So I'm different in that way. I do it at 6:30,
Yeah.
7 o'clock.
And you said you send bags with them for the
Yes.
next couple of days. Yeah.
Yes, and we do to-go bags. So I don't know what the community kitchen does and the other places, but yeah, we do hot meals and we send them off with to-go bags. Like I said, we have 3 people that has nice to-go bags.
Yeah. So what kind of stuff you put in the to-go bag? Like prepackaged?
Mhm.
Okay.
Thanks to Kroger, Community Kitchen, Circle K, just different stores, vendors. They give to my Teamsters. So and then a lot of it's coming out the pocket
Hmm.
from my Teamsters when they do these to-go bags for them. So I appreciate them. They have sandwiches, chips, oatmeal pies. I'm gonna tell you what Steve have. All right, Steve. He gonna have oatmeal pies. He gonna have chips. He gonna have some kind of Nutri-Grain bar, fruit cup, moon pie, something like that.
Yeah.
And then when watermelon season in, he's gonna have watermelon for him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's Steve. So that's a good bag right there.
Yeah.
And then you got John. John usually gets stuff from Community Kitchen, Kroger's, Circle K. He'll stop and ask, and they'll give, whenever they have. So John table is, you never know what he's gonna have, but his table is just as good as my meal.
Oh yeah.
Because he'll have pieces maybe from Circle K. He may have the sandwiches that the barbecue sandwiches, chicken sandwiches, or Kroger's. They'll get him sandwich meat, cheese.
Wow.
So he'll they have something to make sandwiches with. We have bread, so they could build their own sandwiches. He'll have cakes. When I say cakes, I mean like slices of cakes. Pound cake, chocolate cake. Cookies, pies. He'll have a water bottle for him, chips as well, cookies. Yeah, that's John's table. So he has a big table.
Yeah.
And then there's Miss Deborah. She haven't too long been along with me, and she she has a nice table. I love her table. She always have it set up nice. But a lot of the homeless people, some of the homeless people, they have animals.
Yeah.
So she'll bring dog food and cat food for those who have an animal. And then she'll do socks for women and men, gloves, and when it was cold, toiletry like toothpaste, toothbrush, sanitizer, and then sometimes she'll do sandwiches for them, and sometimes she'll make little things, gallons of tea or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool.
Those to-go tables.
Good deal.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us something we don't know but should be totally aware of about your ministry.
A lot of people always, think that we're a church, and we're not a church. I attend Cornerstone of Rome. I have probably about 4 or 5 people that goes to the same church as me. I have probably 3 or 4 people that goes to another church. One person go to another church, another person go to another church, and then I got those that doesn't attend church.
It's not a specific denomination.
Yes.
It's not a specific church.
Yes.
It's whoever wants to serve.
Yes. And everyone I call my teamster, their heart is in the right place. And it's almost like a small group. That's what it is. We fellowship. We pray. We pray for those that's out there. We encourage them. We talk to them. So yeah, that is one, that we're non-denomination. We're all God's people from everywhere, all walks of life. black, white, male, female, young, old. I have kids that comes out and help. Um, so yes, I mean, um, if you are moved and you're touched to help those that in need, you know, I'm all,
There's a place for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
fall right in.
Yeah.
That's one. The other is that we are God led. That's I would say my most important. You have a lot of nonprofit ministries, and you know they do things that are right, but there's a lot of politics in it.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
there's no politics here. Anything that I do, before I do it, I pray about it.
Yeah.
And I have some wise ladies that helps me, that prays, and you know they'll come back and you know give me confirmation on things that you know, on things that I've been you know wanting to do or think I should do, you know. So we're God led, and I could give you an example of that. And this is a confirmation that it's God led. I've been doing this since 2020, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've only missed one day.
One Wednesday.
One Wednesday, right? And I serve outside.
Yeah.
I don't have a building. So I'm outside in the elements. From 2020 to now, I only missed one Wednesday.
Wow. From weather?
From weather.
Wow.
And y'all know how much weather we get, how much rain we get.
Oh, yeah.
Only one Wednesday. So that one Wednesday, when I missed it, it was lightning, thundering, until my coming down. That next Wednesday, they were so upset with me.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was raining, y'all. I couldn't do it. They're like, but you could have did it. You know, we was waiting on you, you know. And I felt bad.
Yeah.
So I prayed to God. I said, you know, fix it to where I don't, you know, miss another Wednesday. So I had a good friend. He had bought me a tent, one of those pop-up tents that you pull out. He had bought me one of them, and it sprinkled a few times, and we pulled that out to keep, you know, to keep the rain off of us.
Yeah.
And you know, we continue to serve. But I think I used that thing probably 2 or 3 times. And when I did, you know, use it, it was just sprinkled.
Yeah.
Like I said, just use probably 2 or 3 times. Other than that, no rain. And when I tell you, it had got just comfortable of knowing it's not going to rain, that I would tell people like, nah, don't you worry about the rain. It ain't gonna rain.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna rain. And it could be raining down the road. You could see the rain, but it wouldn't.
But not
It
where y'all
wouldn't.
at.
It wouldn't come to us. It wouldn't come to
Till
us.
y'all were done.
Yes, until
Wow.
we're done, and it would pour down rain. Once we packed up and got in our car, it'd fall down there.
I don't think it's in here, but what? Like you guys serve from 6-ish to
6. Because I do all the cooking at the house, right? And I do work. So when I get up work and get home, I try to cook whatever I'm cooking as fast as I can.
yeah.
So if I can be done before 6:30, then I go on here and get out there.
Yeah.
But I say 7 o'clock because there was times where I just couldn't finish in time. So I say 7, but normally, I try to get up there at 6:30.
Till about 11.
It's about 8.
8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Until we're finished feeding.
And you said you're not in a building, so if it gets dark.
I had lights. We had lights.
Okay.
The little solar panel lanterns. Or whatever. We had, everybody had a lantern on their table.
Okay.
So we did that for a while. Yeah.
And that you're set up over there at the railroad tracks.
I was out there on the
Okay.
in the parking lot by the railroad tracks. I'm still in that same area, but I'm under the on the shopping center
Okay.
where Salvation Army used
Yeah.
to be at on the corner.
Okay.
So that's where we're at.
How do you select the people who participate in your ministry?
I don't select.
Whoever shows up?
I don't select. Everyone that helps me, I have not went to not one and said I want you to help me. Everybody, because I started doing this in 2020. I did it for about 9 months without telling anybody.
Just you?
Just me and my kids knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
The church folks, nobody knew. Yeah. So when the word got out that I was doing that, people was like, oh, that's nice. I'd like to help. I said, okay, just come on out. So that's how I got going, and then you have people drive by, ask, what we're doing, and I let them know what's going on. They'll say, oh, I like to help. Okay,
Yeah.
you can come on. Anytime you want to, just come on. And you have people come, one day, and then may not show up again.
Mhm.
And then you had some that came and they still with me.
Yeah.
And so that's how
And what about the people you service? Anybody who shows up for a plate? You don't do any kind of screening.
no.
Whoever shows up.
Yes. Now the homeless people, they usually let the next homeless person know what's going on.
Yeah.
So they come. They already know what time it is. They know what it's for.
Yeah.
They get their plate. And then you have people in passing and seeing it for the first time that ask. And I say, this is for the homeless and this is for the less fortunate.
Yeah.
Now, if you think you're in need and need the help, feel free.
Yeah. Okay. So, but pretty much anybody that shows up, you'll help.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's talk about mindset and challenges. This ministry's done some pretty incredible things. What is your biggest struggle?
Support.
Support. Like
Support.
what kind?
Financially.
Okay.
I don't have.
So everything, I know you mentioned that everything's out of people's pocket.
Yes. Now, I've been blessed by numerous women from my church. They give.
Mm-hmm.
But when I say financially support, I'm talking about, like yearly. Something I know is
Consistent.
Yeah. I
So
know
you
something.
You
Yes.
can't budget
Yes.
this and that.
Yes.
You have to. Yeah.
So I've been doing this by people giving generously, and I appreciate them. They know this,
Mm-hmm.
and it's whenever I get it from them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when it's not given to me, then I have to do so.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that.
The biggest struggle is
Yes.
consistent
Yes, yes.
income, I guess.
Mhm.
We need, yeah. What's been your most significant aha moment? Like, oh my gosh. Or how would you describe that?
I don't know. I think he's given some good examples
Yeah.
already with the rain and making eye contact with the lady.
Yeah, knowing that it's a God thing.
Yeah.
I guess my aha moment is I guess because I'm inside looking out. I don't see the blessing all the time.
Yeah.
So on Wednesdays, you know, I unload and I'm constantly like moving, you know, make sure everything is, you know, going smooth.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times I hear stuff, people come up to me and say things, you know, they appreciate this, appreciate that. And I'm really like not really in tune because I'm doing this and doing that. So when I do slow down and like what that person just said to me,
Yeah.
man, you know, like we really doing this? Like really? And I sit back and I can see all the tables set up. We have probably about 6 tables. You know, my hot meal, my sweets, a tea, a coffee, a hot chocolate, the table with the clothes, blankets and things like that. The 3 set up tables for the to-go bags. And I see all this. And I'm like, what in the world? Like,
Yeah.
how are we doing this? Like, because we don't have no big backing, like
Yeah.
I said.
Yeah. It's just
But-
a bunch of people coming
Yes.
together. Basically, yeah.
Yes, and this is every Wednesday. And I'm like, how is this continue to happen every Wednesday? And these people walking out with bags. I'm talking about like they don't went shopping
Yeah.
at Walmart and they don't spend what $500 because it take about $500 now.
Yeah.
You know to get about 4 bags.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, they walking out away from us with bags,
Yeah.
and it's like, golly. And this is without a support, you know what I'm saying, a financial backing.
Yeah.
So like yeah, if we had that backing, we could feed
Whole bunch
Rome,
more.
Cartersville, Calhoun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do some things because we're doing it with a little,
Yeah.
and it's like I said.
Kind of like feeding the 5,000. You
Yes.
sit back and it's like, goodness gracious.
Yeah.
You know, where'd this come from? Where'd all these bags of extra food come from? Kind of thing. Yeah.
That's my aha moment because I'm always like reflecting to my first time serving, and I did it for like 9 months by myself.
Yeah.
You know, for me, cooking, putting everything in the car, serving. You know, that was my joy.
Mm-hmm.
That was my joy. Me putting the food on that plate and then hand it to him.
Yeah.
I mean, that I was like, that was for me, you know. So from that to this, and I see those tables, like, how when this happened, you know? Yeah.
Is there one thing that keeps you and your team going and encouraged in your ministry? That's different from what you've told us?
It's me again. I'm laid back. I know what I want. I know it needs to be done. I'm not gonna allow anything that is not of God, and it's gonna set us back. So my decision making and that is on point.
Yeah.
I know who I am as a person. I'm the founder, the president, whatever you want to call it. But I don't walk around, with that hat on my head.
Yeah.
I'm just like everybody else out there, serving.
Mm-hmm.
So I know it makes it easier on the others, because I'm that way. So everybody else, it's almost like a family, out there. When it's time to ask for a question or make a decision, they come to me. But other than that, I'm
Yeah.
just Gigi,
Yeah.
So it makes it easy for everybody else to. We doing something that we all feel that is right.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's got to be because, like I said, I have people that goes to church and I have people that doesn't go to church. So, but we all know what's right,
Yeah.
and we all know what's in our hearts. So, yeah, that part.
Mm-hmm. So you have donations. How else do you raise funds to help support it? I mean, you said you have some generous.
Yes, that's about it. Word of mouth, and I don't talk a whole lot, so.
So is there a way that people can donate?
Yes. Which camera I'm looking at?
They're both pointed
They're
at
both
you.
pointed at you.
Okay, because yes, I love to take in donations. I have a Facebook page and it's called Fork, Spoon, and Plate. If you go on Fork, Spoon, and Plate, as soon as you open it up and go down just a little bit, you'll see where I have ways of taking in donations. And it's Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App is what I have. And you can send that way. The address, I believe, is on there, which is my address, my home address. My phone number is on there, which is my personal. I also have email, which is the best way if you want to, communicate. And it's forkspoonandplate@gmail.com. You can email me, or you can just, I guess, put that messenger on Facebook.
Yeah.
You can do that as well, and I'll respond back. But yeah, we take clothes, we take items, any items that you believe that someone else can use, we'll take it. Socks, shoes, lady items, just things that they will better benefit from. And yes, cash will do great.
So if you could go back in time,
Mm-hmm.
when you started Fork, Spoon, and Plate, and give your past self some advice,
Mm-hmm.
what would you give them? What would you tell your past self?
For Fork, Spoon, and Plate?
Yeah. What have you learned, I guess, through the time that it would have made your starting out easier?
I wouldn't change nothing.
You wouldn't change nothing?
Uh-uh.
You just encourage yourself, hey, keep doing it because you
Yeah.
are making a difference?
Yeah, I would tell myself, trust it, because a lot of times I do kind of get worried or um, I guess yeah, overwhelmed because, like I said, it's a lot of work
Mm-hmm.
and it costs. I don't want to stop what I'm doing, but like if I can't afford it, I can't do it.
Yeah.
So that part is sometimes I have to fight with, but like I said, I pray about everything I do, and then there's all moments that lets me know that everything is gonna be all right.
Yeah.
So yeah, just chill out, Gigi. Everything's gonna be good.
So what do you enjoy the most about working at Fork Spoon Plate?
I'm not working.
It's
I'm not working.
only a job if it feels like a job.
Yes. Everybody always saying how we blessing others, but it's a blessing for us to be a blessing. So I enjoy it,
Yeah.
and people be like, "Man, you ain't tired, or you know, that's a lot of what y'all doing, you know." Nah, it's I can't express it. I can't explain. It's like it's a lot of work for
Yeah.
real.
Oh yeah.
You know, to cook, to prepare everything, to load everything up, to unload everything, set everything up, to put everything back, and all that. It's a lot, but I don't feel it
Yeah.
until it's over. You know, when it's over, then I'm like
Yeah.
you know, Thursday at work, you know, I'm kind of like slow motion, but at that moment, no, it's like
Yeah.
adrenaline, and yeah, I love helping those people, so, and that's true,
Yeah.
cause that's what it is for me.
It's not a chore.
Nah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So what's the most challenging part of doing Fork Spoon Plate?
Challenging part is not having the right equipment. It's not having the right tools. To do a good job and do it quality work at a good time. You know what I'm saying? It takes the right tools. If you got, you know, this water bottle and you need to fill up a 50-gallon tank, and you got to fill this up and dump it in that 50-gallon tank, it's gonna take a minute.
Oh yeah.
But if I had a water hose, you know, just tied on to this spigot right here and just, you know,
Turn it on.
it's lighter for me, easier for me. I need things. I have a trailer that was blessed by a friend that was given to me, a coworker. It's a good trailer, but I've grown in my ministry. When I first started, I was doing 5 to 7 people. That's who I was serving.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing 60 plus right now.
Wow.
At times, 60 plus. So I had to get more tables. I'm gonna need more tables now, but I had to get more tables. I had to add more chairs. I had to have more totes to hold things in. So that trailer has become too small.
Yeah.
So also the trailer's open. I would love to have an enclosed trailer, so my trailer won't get rain on.
Yeah.
So when it rains on my table, it rains on my totes, it rains on the chairs. And I'm using my SUV. So in the back of my SUV, I put all the food, put, you know, the cups and plates and everything else in that in my SUV. My SUV smells like food a lot of times, you know, because I'm using it.
Yeah.
If I had a trailer or some kind of truck or anything that was enclosed that I can keep everything inside that trailer and not use my SUV, keep it out of the weather, have room to store the tables, the chairs, the totes. I can keep cups, I can keep plates, I can keep napkins, I can keep, you know, all the things that we use in this trailer. It's out of the elements, and it's there.
Because you don't have a place, right? You don't have a warehouse. You don't have a building. Everything is
yes
out of your house.
Yes. So again, I don't even have a personal building for myself. So everything that I have is on my carport.
Yeah.
Up under the carport. And I had to make it as neat as possible because I had just, you know, taken in so much that it looked bad.
Yeah.
So I had to kind of fix it up a little neat still. I desire a storage building big enough to where I can put my refrigerators and store all my dry goods, boxes of, you know, plates, the silverwares, the clothes and things like that. I can have a building to keep that stuff because I get offers all the time, and sometimes I have to turn it down because I don't have nowhere to put it.
Yeah.
So when it's needed, I'm like, man, I should have got that.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't have the room. So a trailer, enclosed trailer, and a storage building is what I need.
Okay.
And I guess because we're gonna be talking to some people, you know, who's out here that's gonna bless fork, spoon, and plate. But I would love to have a building. When I say a building, I mean like it could be an old warehouse. It could be, you know, old house. I want a building to where they can come out of the elements. Cause right now we're still outside, even though we're under the awning, we're outside. I want a building to where when we go inside and I start cooking, they can come in and we can interact with them. And I want it set up to where the kitchen is, you know, out center because that's our focus point is to feed. I want it open, you know, just open and center where they can sit out amongst, you know, the open areas, watch TV, books. I want to have it set up to where we, you know, we offer prayer, you know, counseling. Yes, showers, you know, where they can wash their clothes. I want to be that. I want to be that center point as well. My end goal is to be the focus, like the center point for this part of Georgia.
Yeah.
And when I say center point, I want to be able to be that center or that nonprofit or that building or that help where the schools, the police department, the social, the children's, what do you call it, social workers and all that, them, the elderly, old folks home, the churches. Example, a kid at school, teacher feels like this child, you know, needs some help, some clothes, food, family's doing bad. called Fork, Spoon, and Plate. Fork, Spoon, and Plate. We had this family, these kids. You know, we believe, you know, they need help.
Yeah.
I want to be that center point where we can send hot meals to them until, you know, somebody else can step in and you know, help.
Yeah.
I want to be that center point for when the police, you know, do a bust or have to go in the house for whatever reason, find kids ain't been fed.
They
Folks
call you.
going to play. We got this family over here. Can y'all make sure, you know, these kids, you know, get fed?
Yeah.
I want to be able to have, you know, transportation. You know, I'm talking big now.
Yeah.
But this is the
Oh, yeah.
end game. This is my
Yeah.
end game. I want to be that center point where we just make sure folks is you know, have what to make it to the next day.
I understand. What one piece of advice would you give someone who wants to make a difference in the community?
Just go out and do it. Just do it.
If you see a need, do what you can do.
Yes, and a lot of people feel, you know, they have to be, they have to go all out to do something for somebody, you know. If it's just a pair of socks, you know,
Mm-hmm.
find that person that needs that pair of socks and give it to them. You have done something that have made somebody in our community, you know, happy. You gave them something they needed. So yeah, that it don't take much.
Yeah.
Just do it. I fought with that myself.
Well, I can't do this. Just do this.
Just do this.
Yeah.
And I know my calling, and I'm not for to do no more than what it's called for me to do. I'm here to feed, and that's my focal point. Feed, and when I get clothes, when I get this, then I do that. But if you talking about, you know, because I get people saying, they need help for a building. Can you give us money for, you know, for this and this? No, that's not what I do.
Yeah.
I feed. I'm gonna make sure you get fed.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm for the step on some toes, but you know, I done heard people in church people, you know, they you know, they say things about these people as if they chose to be out there,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not right. That's not right.
Mm-hmm.
It's not right at all.
Things happen.
Some choose to be that way, but I don't care. They still need to be fed,
Yeah.
and you know, I'm gonna do that. But you have those out there that have mental problems, drug addictions, and when you say drug addictions, everybody just say they on drugs and drugs. Okay, yeah, but what led them to drugs?
Mm-hmm.
I got stories that I've been told that these people endured that put them, you know, that led them to drugs.
Yeah.
You know, just to cope with life.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're addicted. You know, been raped, brought here from another state to be with a lover, get kicked out, no family around,
No way to get.
no way to get back, you know. So now they out in the streets. They try to maintain, and you can only do that for so long because of what goes on out there in the streets, you know, rape, you know, people getting cut up,
Yeah.
stealing. So you out there long enough, you start going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So you gonna take something to try to, you know, again, cope with what life has dealt you. Then again, there you go, on drugs.
Yeah.
So when the people say, church people say they chose to be out there, nah, that's not it.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say my place, I know my place. I feed them, right? And we give them encouraging word. We read the Bible to them, right? So we're feeding them and getting them to be able to be open-minded for the next person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The next Bible-toting prophet,
Yeah.
whoever you call yourself to be, next for you all to come and do your part.
You're planting the seed.
I'm planting the seed.
Yeah.
So we're all in this thing together. That's my part.
Yeah.
So I'm feeding them. I'm keeping them alive. We loving on them. So all you have to do is come in and do what God told you to do.
Yeah. And that's the key, I think. Just doing. If you feel moved, do what you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Do what God's moving you to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is your go-to source for inspiration and encouragement? How do you get inspired? How do you get encouraged?
Mm-hmm.
What feeds you, I guess, is a different way to say it.
Okay. They always say God will help you, right? He's gonna help you. But he's waiting on you to make the first move. Once you make your first move, he'll, start, ordering your steps. I had to make the first move. Once I made that first move, I got that feeling that I talked about.
Mm-hmm.
That feeling that I love when I feed them. So that's
So the people you have for your encouragement.
that's my that's
They're your
encouragement.
inspiration.
That's my inspiration. Yes.
Yeah.
So therefore, anyone that is listening or has read the story, just know that we're out here, we're doing what's right. We're taking care of somebody's child, somebody's dad, somebody's mother, somebody's sister, somebody's brother. One day, somebody close to us could be in the same situation. And tell you the truth, the way the economy is, the way the world is going, a lot of us is, a week away from being in that same situation.
Yeah.
So I see it that way sometimes. Like, that could be me out there, So I struggle with what I have, my bills, my, things I'm going with. So if I'm going crazy, you know, about what I have, and I have a house, I have cars, you know, I have a job, and if I'm tripping on what I got, just imagine those folks out there that don't have anything. So yeah, I feel sorry for them. So you know, I want to help. So and I know there's a lot of people out there that's just like me. You don't have to be right out there with us to you know to be
To help?
to help the community. Everybody, like I said, everybody has their
Colin?
their calling. Everybody has their part. I'm feeding. You can give me the money or purchase the food, however you want to do it, and I can cook it up. You know, you can have somebody sponsoring. That's a part. You know, you can have somebody bring clothes. That's a part, and everybody's doing their part, and we just happen to be out there just giving it out.
Mm-hmm.
So what people need to do first, they need to follow you on Facebook.
Yes.
That because you post a lot of pictures
Mhm.
of what you're doing.
Pictures and videos. We go live every Wednesday.
Yeah, and so people can see
Yes.
exactly what you're doing, and then you have all the links to donate,
Mm-hmm.
and then just do their part
Yes.
to contribute. So
Please do your part.
all right,
And,
All right.
That's it.
all
Good
right,
Yeah.
deal.
Forks Fun in place.
all right. Thank you.
Well, thank you for your time.